It's clearly not a castle. Okay.
Um, you go blow up this shit, and it's real competitive, and I'm an extremely competitive person, so I get addicted to it, and when I lose, I hate it, but I have to play
Yeah,
again because I can't go out on that loss. So
that's a fun game.
it's fun if you haven't played it before.
And we mentioned we got a few
It's
seconds
free.
here. We got a few seconds while I set this stuff up here for our next topic. Um, it is free and it is fun, and it,
It's a
I
good combo.
I think it's overlooked a lot. A lot of people, when I tell them League of Legends, they don't understand what I'm talking about. And the game mode, or not mode, but the game style is different. It's not a first-person shooter. It's not a real-time strategy. It's not.
It really invented its own genre.
Yeah, streaming from, you probably know it better because you played the game that it kind of spawned from. But it was the Warcraft, right?
Yeah,
Warcraft.
it was actually not World of Warcraft. Warcraft 3. I can't think of the expansion pack off the top of my head. Somebody in the chat help me out.
Frozen Throne.
Frozen Throne.
You don't need them. You got me.
Yeah. Um, it was a custom game type in Warcraft 3, and then it kind of morphed into this juggernaut that took over the custom game type world, and it went through. I mean, from it's probably still going. If you went and tried to play Warcraft 3 right now, a custom game, I'm sure it's still the top played. Most of the games you're going to find are going to be playing Dota. And like I said, the creators of it now got the opportunity to do their own standalone game, Dota 2, which will be available on Steam pretty soon, I believe.
Oh, I got
And
a
League
key
of
to that.
Legends, yeah, League of Legends kind of took that, and it's very similar. I don't want to say it's the same game. It's very similar, and they just kind of tweaked a few things here and there, and ran with it and tried to make their own thing out of it. And it does take a little getting used to. It's not a game where you're just going to jump in and, where if you're good at first-person shooters, whether you play Battlefield or Call of Duty, you can jump in one or the other and you're probably going to do all right. With this, if you're not familiar with this game type, I promise you the first 10 games that you play, you're going to want to throw your monitor out the window. It can make you extremely frustrated, but once you kind of sit down and, maybe play against some AI and get a feel for the controls and what's going on, and just the speed of the game, it gets real fun. It tests your reaction time. It's a thinking game. It's almost like a modern day version of chess, if you will. You got to predict your opponent's move and try to counter it in the best way that you can. You try to build teams around each person's strengths and weaknesses. So it's real fun. It's real intensive. I recommend it to anybody who doesn't currently play it or has never played it, or may have tried it once and got frustrated and quit. Stick with it. Once you figure it out, it gets a lot better.
Yeah, I agree. It's pretty fun, but we're all set, so we can hop from League of Legends into Ghost Recon, which some people are excited for, some people aren't excited for, and we're not looking at Future Soldier today because it's not out yet. But we'll be talking a little bit about Future Soldier. But what we're gonna kick off here is Ghost Recon Online, which is a free-to-play. I don't want to say version of Future Soldier because they're different. They're not linked. They're not the same game. Or anything like that, but they're similar in their nature. That Future Soldier is the reason that Ghost Recon Online came out, and kind of vice versa. They've blended together. They have the same kind of atmosphere, like the cloaking system that's out now for both games. They kind of complement each other. But what the topic today is why do two at the same time? Is it viable to be able to have a community on both that is going to be as big as you want it to be? And is it going to be fun? Is people going to like one more than the other, or are they both going to be equally fun? Because let me tell you, Ghost Recon Online, the game that we're looking at here, is the best free-to-play shooter I have played ever. That's personally to me. And I'm going to explain why real quick. Just touched on a couple of quick things that I find that this game does very well. And I was really excited about Future Soldier, and I still am. Don't get me wrong. But now that I've played Ghost Recon Online, the anticipation's kind of died down for me a little bit because I'm like, well, this game's kind of cool, and I might just want to play this, maybe more, because it is free to play. So the fan base is going to be a little bigger. Obviously, not everybody wants to go out and spend. Well, here's another thing we can talk about as well: $49.99 on Ghost Recon Future Soldier for the PC. Um, some people don't want to do that. They want to play. They want to play the game for free, and it's here. It's still in beta currently. I'm not sure if that's because of Future Soldier coming out or what, because I believe it's been in beta for a while. But if you look over here on the right, the graphics are good for this game, and Treyhan's played it as well. The customization is there; it's good. I mean, you see here as I pull it up, it's got the fully customizable weapons, just like Future Soldier does. And they have all the features of Future Soldier, but in the free-to-play version. And as we mentioned earlier, with some of these free-to-play games, some of them don't offer you all the stuff that you can buy in the game for money. They don't offer that stuff to you for the free money that you earn. But this game is one that says no matter what gun it is, no matter what weapon or equipment, you can buy it all with the in-game money, and you don't have to spend any real money on it if you don't want to. And I thought that was pretty neat. Treyhan, what was your initial reaction to playing it? Have you actually got to play any rounds, or are you still having the patch problem?
No, I did get to play a few rounds. My first initial reaction was kind of, this game really reminds me of Brink, which was a game that we played, probably about a year ago now. It had a lot of hype behind it when it came out. It's kind of got that, best way I can describe it is almost the Gears of War style cover system. We can kind of slide in the cover and peek around over corners,
Right.
and over obstacles. No jump in the game, so you just sprint and kind of hurdle over things. That part of it I like. I think they did a better job with it than Brink did. I haven't really gotten stuck on anything like I used to in Brink a lot. As far as the why you would do both at this kind of the same time, I'm still kind of scratching my head on that one. Maybe is this just to kind of get people's feet wet for Future Soldier and kind of build up that anticipation. But if you're offering all the same things in a free-to-play, I don't see why. I don't know. It's kind of just a confusing scenario for me. Why do you offer basically the same game twice? One's
Right.
free and one's not,
And
even though the free one takes longer to unlock
yeah,
things.
and that's why this is even being brought up today in the podcast. When I first started playing the game, I wasn't even thinking about that. But the more in closer that Future Soldier is to releasing, which is on Tuesday, I was like, why? Because now I've already put a bunch of hours into this game, leveling up and unlocking shit, and I'm like, do I want to stop doing that just to go play the same game? And it's actually, I did some research, and Future Soldier is actually a little bit reduced from this. In this game, you can customize your plate carrier, which, for those of you who don't know military terms, is your body armor. You can customize the plates that go in the front and the back of your body armor. Can't do that with Ghost Recon. The weapon customization, yeah, it's not as in depth as Future Soldier, but it has the same thing. It doesn't break apart the weapon. You don't get to see all the screws and stuff, but you can still customize the same parts of the weapon, the same things that you can in Future Soldier. And Future Soldier is $49.99, and this one's not. So I was kind of like, do I want to stop playing something I've already invested a bunch of hours in and to play something else? It also has the only thing that I believe right now that Future Soldier is boasting is better game modes. I believe Future Soldier has the better game modes, and as well it should. If you're gonna make me pay for something, you need to offer something a little different than your free to play title, which this is a good game. I'm not knocking on this game whatsoever. I'm gonna do a little bit of gameplay. I'm not sure how smooth it looks on y'all's, and it's a bit laggy on mine, but I'm gonna attempt to play a little bit and and show you guys what this game's about. But for me, I'm just, and I'm still a little confused on which game I'm going to be playing more. Obviously, maybe for me, I'll probably tend to lean towards the game that I had to pay for. But that's still a little bit undecided for me.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to from what I've seen from the Game Informer's magazines and E3 and things. That map in Ghost Recon and Future Soldier that you can pull up, pre-match when you're kind of in the loading screen or
Hmm.
right before you would go. And it's basically almost like a dry erase board
Yeah.
map, kind of like what's on your screen right here, where you can set waypoints and where people need to go, and you'll have a captain that can point out what walls you should be hiding behind and what doors you should be covering. And for somebody who's already led teams in competitive gameplay, that to me is something that I wish every game had built in. We already know that we've had to go and have members take screenshots of maps and draw and do our own strategies that way. Where this game's gonna have it built in, and it's from what I've read, I think you can kind of import it from each game, and whoever's got I think it's whoever's the highest rank or whatever, can kind of upload theirs into the map and show you, here's the plan, here's what we need to do. You go here, you cover this door.
Yeah.
And that to me that's really cool. I wish more people had that stock in their games.
Yeah, I think that's good as well, and I really like some of the things that they're doing with Future Soldier. I know I've already explained to you that I like their cover based system a lot, and for those of you that are wondering what I'm doing, I have to set the priority to high because for some reason the game puts it on normal for some reason, but for me, uh, it was. I don't really know how to explain it. For me, it was easy to pick up both, but it's the decision on which one I'm going to play more that's kind of eating at me just a little bit. And what you mentioned about with the drawing board, which that's great for teams, the competing teams, which will definitely have competition teams for this game as well as Ghost Recon Online as time goes by. But there's also the feature of the suppression, where the camera actually kind of bugs down a bit, and you get a reduced field of view, and it actually makes you kind of feel like you're being shot at. Which, if you've never been shot at, you probably won't understand what we're talking about. But I've been downrange when I work security, and I've had people shooting around me, and sometimes your vision actually does get a little narrower. You kind of get tunnel vision, so to speak, and for a game to kind of simulate that, at least a little bit, is nice to see, and it definitely looks like it's going to be fun. Because there are some aspects that aren't included in this Ghost Recon Online thing that for me is lagging really bad. I'm not sure why it never lags, but the Future Soldier, which is coming out, is definitely got some cool things that this game doesn't. But the point is, why do both? You're splitting your fan base. You're gonna have some people like me who's going to play one more than the other, and that has potential to kill the whatever game doesn't have the most people playing.
Yeah, I can't wrap my head around it. I mean, I've sat there and I really tried to sit there and figure it out, and it just I don't know what angle they're trying to work here. I mean, the only thing I can really see is if it was just really trying to get people a sample of, this is what's coming out. Tired of making you wait. Here's a little preview. But if this game's just in beta, that means it's going to come out
Yeah.
in full force at some point alongside Future Soldier, and that to me is kind of just an odd move. Until I can actually get my hands on Future Soldier and play it, I mean, really can't sit here and dissect it and say, you know, what's better, what's not,
I
what's
went
different.
invisible, just so you know. Pretty much like
Nice.
pretty much like the Predator. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, threw me off there. Until we can really play both, I kind of want to withhold judgment on what I'm gonna like more. But yeah, it's odd. I don't know why they would do it that way. You know, it's almost like Call of Duty sending out a free version of Black Ops 2 and then, you know, charging you
Yeah,
for
right.
the real game.
Which you shouldn't buy anyways, because who wants to play Battlefield 19 or 2142 again?
Yeah. Let's
uh,
just hope everybody can actually play it this time.
yeah, right. So we can drive around the mech bots, right? Um,
I want that game so bad.
before we move on and talk any more about these two games, which we've kind of covered, it wasn't a big topic. For me, it was just kind of, like I said, it was just kind of weird to see that. Um, let's talk about why they do a certain thing, which I've been wondering a long time. If you guys that are watching, let me see how many. You got 9 guys in here watching.
Yeah, that.
If any of you guys are watching, why do they release some games for $49.99 and some games for $59.99? What is the deal behind that? Why are some PC games $49.99, some PC games $59.99? Does it have something to do with the port maybe from the console, or what? Because I mean, there's some games that aren't ported from console that have dedicated server browsers and all that kind of stuff that aren't ports. And they're still $59.99. Battlefield 3, for example, is obviously been designed for the PC, at least rewritten for the PC. It's $59.99. Call of Duty was a port from the Xbox, from the Xbox to the PC. It's $59.99. Ghost Recon Future Soldier, $49.99. You have another game, for example, which is pretty much, I believe it's still the #1 selling game on Steam. Arma 2. That one is, when it came out, was $49.99, and it just, to me, I'm not understanding why they do that and why there's a price difference. Got any insight on that? Trehan. Oh, did we lose him?
No, no, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay.
Had another application open. It blocked my move,
I
but
was wondering what's going on.
no, I think it's basically just a marketing thing. Like it just popped up in the chat there. I think it's, you know, Battlefield and Call of Duty came out right at the same time last year, and Battlefield could say, "Hey, we're $10 cheaper. We offer a bigger maps, you know, bigger gameplay, but we're $10 cheaper." Um, I don't think it's anything really more than that. It's, you know, we feel like we can reach a broader audience if we can sell it for $10 cheaper than all of our competition.
Right, and most of the time I would agree with that, but there's still that issue of um, Future Soldier for the Xbox. It's $59.99. For the computer, it's $49.99. It doesn't make sense to me, at least. Maybe I really actually can't think of it. I was gonna say maybe it's for digital download, but they're still printing box copies, and they're still doing that. But the PC is getting that price reduction um, for whatever reason.
Development costs, possibly.
Yeah, that's true. That's something else, that it could be. Um, and if that's the case, I wonder how the people playing Xbox feel about that. I mean, I'm sure they don't care because their mom probably buys most of their games if you're playing Xbox. But there's still that question of why do they do that? Some games I've even seen launch brand new at $39.99, and I scoop those games up, even if they're not the best quality, because I'm getting the game at a cheaper price. Not to say that I'm a cheapskate or anything, but if I can buy more games for less, then that's what I'm gonna do. And when I saw that Future Soldier was only $49.99, I was more than a bit surprised. I actually thought the price might be wrong, so I tried to buy it because Steam has done that a couple times. There was a game on there the other day that was for -$7. I took a screenshot of it and posted it on the 40 Seconds Facebook. But it obviously wasn't a mistake. It is $49.99, and that's what I paid for it.
I mean, that sounds good to me. I'm kind of curious. Does Xbox have that price difference too, or is it pretty much standard that all Xbox games are
All
$59.99?
all Xbox games are $59.99 when they're new. Every single one that I've ever seen. Um, Now, on occasion, you actually get ones that cost more. There was um, a deluxe edition for games, $69.99 and
Hmm.
on. But that's become standard for people or for companies to offer that. And for those of you who are wondering what I'm playing World of Tanks. This is some game that FPS Russia claims that he got you guys for free. So if you see FPS Russia, tell him he's an idiot because this game has been free to play even before he put it on his YouTube channel.
Oh, calling people out, are we? First podcast,
Yeah, well,
already making friends.
I some of these things, man, they're on my mind. I gotta say them, and especially when it comes to certain things like this. If you claim that you made a game free to play that's been free to play, I'm gonna have to call you out on it. I don't care who you are.
I hear you.
Unless Sarah Underwood's claiming that she made something and then she can say whatever she wants about it. I don't care. But this game I'm playing
Also, not touching that one.
this game that I'm playing it's fun as well. If you're a tank person, this is World of Tanks, and this is another one of those free to play games. You see the graphics aren't the best, but it's a fun game to play with your friends. Big tank battles, wide open terrain and stuff is pretty nice. But this is a little bit off topic. I want to get back real quick and touch on Ghost Recon again. When Future Soldier comes out, which is, as I mentioned already, the 26th, which is Tuesday, the online, the Ghost Recon Online is obviously going to suffer some loss for people that are wanting to play that game. Do you think that because in my opinion, doing that when the game comes out, the community for Ghost Recon Online, for the people that are going to play Future Soldier, which 99.9% of them probably will, considering, like I said, they're the same thing. One's a little better, one has different features. Do you think that's going to kill the community? Because in my opinion, I think that community is going to suffer a lot when people stop playing that to go play the other game. It only takes a couple days for communities to get bored of not having anybody on.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's going to depend on how well put together Future Soldier is when it releases. If it comes out and it's got a lot of bugs, or it's just flat out not as fun, I don't think it's going to suffer a whole lot. If it comes out and it just blows away online and in every aspect of the game, I think obviously, it's probably going to suffer, but at the same time, who wants to play the worst of the two games? I mean, I think, doing this, it's definitely going to push the better game to prevail. Obviously, people are going to want to play the better game of the two, even if it is the one that you have to pay for. And like I said, I still can't figure out why they put both out at the same time. So unless they know something that we don't, and they've got some kind of ploy going on right now, I would imagine that the pay-to-play game is going to be the better of the two. I mean,
Yeah,
if you're putting your resources into that game and you're going to charge people to play it, I can't see you making it worse than the game that you're offering people for free.
Yeah, I agree. And moving on, normally we should wrap this up, but I do want to throw in one more off the dome topic.
Throw it at me.
Okay, here's the topic. Okay, and then like I said, we'll close it out, and you guys can get to bed or whatever you got to do. But you need to listen to us for just a few more minutes, because this is something that's probably, God damn it, you guys are getting me killed. This is probably something that's on a lot of people's minds, and that's cross-platform gaming. Now, there's a game coming out pretty soon, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It claims to be cross-platform, which, as I took it, it would be on multiple systems, not doing an exclusive one system only kind of deal. But it kind of brought up the question. A lot of people were mistakenly, and I hope I'm not mistaken by saying this. I hope people were mistakenly saying that cross-platform meant that people from the Xbox were going to be able to play with the PC, were going to be able to play with the PlayStation. Now, I'm not sure if that's the case. What I get from cross-platform is a game that is across platforms, meaning that it will have a particular a game for each console. Because as I know of right now, there's no way for a PC to play with an Xbox to play with a PSN or whatever. So,
See, I've actually done a little bit of reading on that game, and from what I can tell, it is, in a sense, the way that people are taking it. But you're not gonna directly, I'm not gonna get on the game and play with somebody that's on PlayStation or Xbox. But the maps are supposed to be huge, and it's supposed to take a long time for each game to end. And the PC kind of has its own, I guess, job would be kind of the best way.
mhm.
You're gonna have one part of the map that you kind of control,
Okay.
and then the Xbox players have their thing that they're gonna
Right.
do. Almost like each
Yeah,
console
a great example. Eve Online, the space game.
exactly, yeah, that's
It's
what I'm
got
trying to compare.
it has a new title coming out, Dust 421 or some stupid shit, 512 or I don't know, 12 Nuka 12. I don't know what I don't know what the numbers are, but basically whatever you do in the PlayStation version of Eve, which is a first-person shooter, will affect the Eve Online universe as the online PC version.
I think
And
that one might actually be the one I'm thinking of.
so, yes. Okay, now that makes a little more sense to me. So for those of you that are listening, basically, what
They
happens?
support each other. You're not playing with
Right,
Xbox players.
right. You're not playing with particular players, but you are in a sense supporting each different console or PC in a certain way. Now, this to me sounds like a good idea, but um, when you do things like that, when you put a lot of basically a lot of responsibility on the players to play this game. What happens when your game kind of dies down and is not as active? Is it still going to matter what you do when there's only a couple thousand people playing? As from when it launches, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people playing. I mean, the same can be said for Modern Warfare 3 when it first launched. Tons of players on. Now it's in the 30 and 40,000 player range every day. It doesn't ever really peak over that at one particular time. And when you do that to a game, you make it rely on certain people playing the game a certain amount of time to advance objectives or advance maps or whatever the case may be. That puts a lot of responsibility on the community to keep playing. And for me, it sounds like a great idea, but is something like that going to be sustainable in the gaming world, man? I mean, as much as I play, I mean, for those of you who are watching, I know I shut the video down for a second, but if you could just check your video feed real quick, I have 103 games on Steam. Okay, so I play all the ones that are highlighted in white. So I divide my time over all of these games. I don't play one particular game the most, with the exception of maybe Arma. I do play Arma a metric fuck ton, but when it comes to these other games, I mean, Counter-Strike Source, I got 43 hours. Fear, I got 11 hours. Arma, 400 hours. There's differences, and I see the same thing, being done to these games. People are going to play them a lot at first, get their couple hours in there, but when people are done playing and you're relying on, let's say the PC dies out first, and you're relying on your PC players to take parts of your map or to do certain things for you, then then what do you do?
Yeah, I think it's something that would have to be addressed in a patch, honestly. If they see a certain console or platform that's starting to die down, do you tweak it to where it's a little bit easier for less people playing to take that objective or to get those resources or whatever it may be. But I agree. I mean, the games are going to die over time. Some games are more sustainable than others. Diablo 2, like we started the podcast on, has been going strong for, what, over 10 years now. Obviously, it's not as popular as it was when it first came out, but it still has a very active community. Games like Black Hawk Down, something that I started on. There's still clans that I used to play with that's all they play. They don't want to move on. They enjoy that game. They don't want to spend the money for new games. That's all they want to play. I think that's rare in today's gaming world. Everybody always wants, the newest and the best and the shiniest thing. But if you do it really well the first time, maybe you keep people around for several years, and you keep your community thriving. It's going to be hard to do. I don't see, unless it's one of the mainstream games and they just Call of Duty 4 and they hit a nail right on the head and do everything right away.
Exactly.
I don't see anything else really coming out and holding a community that well.
Even juggernauts like Modern Warfare, the original one that is, they don't even last forever. No game really lasts forever. Really the longest test of time, honestly, and I'm not just saying this because I play the game, but Arma has held its community for a long time. People will and still play Arma to this day, and they're huge communities. Now, Modern Warfare is a little different because it's cross-platform, so it has a little bit of base if you add them all together. But I don't think for a single individual platform that anybody has held a a community like that for as long as Arma has. And I may be wrong. There may be one or two games out there that have done it a little longer, if not the same amount of time. But the difference is these new games like Call of Duty or Counter-Strike, all they can give you is some map packs or a couple additional weapons, which for anybody that knows gaming, encoding weapons into the game is extremely difficult, which is why you don't have a ton of weapons patches. There is an exception, which is Battlefield 3, and that's because they fucking cheat. They cheated. I'm telling you that Battlefield had all this DLC planned out from the very beginning, from the very start. So you may think that Battlefield 3 is adding in new guns, but really what they're doing is they're unlocking shit that they've already made for the game a long time ago. So there's no new coding or anything like that. They've already had this pre-programmed in. But, Arma, again, is the exception where the community mods everything that comes out for Arma. They've had a couple DLCs for Arma over the last couple years, but they haven't really added much to the game. They've added 2 new guns and a campaign, or a map and a couple different skins, whereas the community for Arma makes everything from scratch, and that it's a little different that way. So
that's crucial. Any game that really has had any kind of real sustainability, I promise you that there's one word that goes along with it, and it's modability. Arma, people don't play stock Arma. I mean, I'm sure they do. I'm probably going to get called a liar right there, but people play Arma to mod games after maps that are just like cities in Iraq and Afghanistan, or to play fucking paintball, or whatever they want to play. I mean, when a company gives you a base and says, "Here's our game. Here's what we created. Now you run with it and you make it what you want to make it." I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. You literally have unlimited possibilities that you can do with that game. Black Hawk Down was one. As well as I do, custom maps became a huge part of that game. Arma, same thing. Maps, hell, we've played different guns, everything, vehicles.
Yeah.
The whole world can be changed.
And that keeps it fresh.
It does.
And
you never get stale.
Right. So that's the off the dome topic. A lot of you people in the podcast, I know there's 8 of you now, are probably wondering why I'm staring at the screen. Well, surprise, we're going to do a giveaway. I didn't tell Trehan about this, but I'm going to give away a Steam game. So the first person to post their Steam name in the chat gets a free game.
Checking. Better be correct. Who's got good typing skills here?
They're a few seconds delayed, so I'm sure they're just now getting it. Oh, it's Blood Wolf. It's Blood Wolf.
See.
It's Blood Wolf. Oh goodness! Oh goodness! Everybody, congratulations, Blood Wolf. We're gonna Steam mail you a free game. Um,
Now we know who was actually watching the stream and who was listening.
we'll do more giveaways. We're gonna have this is gonna be a regular occurrence. I'm not sure if we're gonna do it once a week or twice a week, or excuse me, once a week or every other week. We'll figure it out as we go on, but we're definitely gonna do more giveaways and stuff. So, so
Hey,
if
hey, TMI, TMI.
if you want to win some more stuff, we'll be giving away stuff every time that we do a podcast. It might not be a game each time because I'm not rich, but we'll give away something. So I appreciate you guys hanging in with us. We're gonna wrap it up now. We're gonna just briefly go over everything that we talked about today, and so. The verdict for Diablo 3 Real Money Auction House, which was the first thing that we talked about. For me, I thought it was a good idea. I thought it was a good tool. As I stated, I don't think it may be like the best thing for the gaming community, but there's no doubt in my mind that it's awesome. It just doing illegal things isn't the best, but people still do them, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. I'm not saying it's illegal to sell stuff on the internet that's fake, even though when you say it like that, it is kind of illegal. But my point is,
It is. It is.
my point is,
When one company owns the items and the rights to those items, it's a little bit illegal.
okay. So let me rephrase that. The Diablo 3 auction house is cool, all right? I think it's a great
There we
idea.
go.
I think it's a great idea. It just might not be the best moral idea to spend your hard-earned money on video game stuff. But who are we to tell you, what you do? I'm sure that's why the American patches come out first, because they know that Americans can spend their money on whatever they want, and maybe some of these other countries can't do that, which is why they get patched later. Um,
Or just banned altogether. There's been several countries that had the not necessarily the auction house itself, but the premise behind it.
yeah.
Laws were enacted very recently that basically banned it from ever being able to be implemented in their countries. So I mean that kind of tells you,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a good thing, but how morally correct is it?
Yeah, so that's my opinion. Trehan, you sharing the same thing?
Yeah, I mean overall, great idea. Props to Blizzard for saying, hey, if you're gonna sell our shit, we're just gonna take it, put it in our game, and make money off of it.
Yeah, I think that's really why I'm behind it. Is I did play World of Warcraft for a while. Don't tell anybody, but I can't tell you how many messages I got saying, jinxx.com 1,000 gold an hour, blah blah blah,
Yep.
89.99, and that was just so annoying. And I have had about 3 of those since I've been playing Diablo 3, and I just ignore them, because I'm like, hey, if I need something, I'll just go buy it from the auction house.
Oh, you can call it out on the stream here. Wow, nerd.
Ah, damn it.
Come on,
Fuck,
come on.
bastards.
Put some time into it, did we?
No, okay, look, I only have one level 80 character, and he's not even all the way maxed out, but, you know what, we're not, where's the moderator? Somebody get Miss Spicy out of here. She's causing
Drop the
trouble.
ban
She's
hammer.
causing trouble. No, don't kick her out, though, for real, because we need all the viewers. There's only 8 of you in here. The next topic, Battlefield 3 Kill the King modification game mode, capture, defend kind of thing. It's protect the VIP. That's what it is. Protect the VIP. That's the game mode I was looking for in my head earlier when I was stuttering all over my words. It's the protect the VIP, similar to Counter Strike. Very cool game mode in my opinion. How do you feel about it?
Game type, love it. Great idea. Game, I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10.
Yeah, the game's not very good, but as I said, if they're doing things like this, actively changing what's bad about the game, which I didn't get to bring it up when we were talking about it, but the conquest mode in Battlefield 3 is not the same as in Battlefield 2, as in there's always a place for you to spawn unless you're playing Conquest Assault, which is dumb. Okay, Battlefield 2 was founded on Conquest Assault, whatever they want to call it now. It was fucking Conquest, and when one team lost, it was over. Okay, it was no ring around the rosy shit, and I really can't stand the way that Conquest works now. And I'm sorry, I know some of you guys in here are from the Battlefield platoon. I'm not trying to knock on your game or whatever, but it's bad. Okay, I am trying to knock on it. It's bad. It's a bad game. Whatever,
Very
bro.
blunt.
Come at me. What you gonna do? How do you feel about Ghost Recon Online and Ghost Recon Future Soldier coming out at the same time?
It's a head scratcher. I can't figure it out. I'm usually pretty good at, trying to debunk things. Can't debunk this one unless it's just, like I said, to give you a taste of what's coming. Great idea. Why you're gonna do it at the same time, a week before the other game releases? Don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't tell
Can't
you.
wait to play it though.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing Future Soldier. I do want to reiterate that Ghost Recon Online is not it's not out yet. So I mean, technically, I say it's coming out at the same time, but technically it's not out. But they give away these guest keys, like they give away food to Africa. It's just something that just keeps on going on and going on and going on and going on. If you want a key, there's tons of websites out there. You could generate keys, and not telling you to do that, but you can. You can get keys from anywhere, and it's not hard. But who knows? We'll see. Maybe in the next podcast we'll get an update on how that's doing and how those two games are faring, because I will be playing both. Not sure which one more than the other yet, but we'll be playing both. And that's all our topics today, man. I think it was a good podcast. It was a lot longer than I thought it was going to be, which is okay. Seems like we held the attention of some of the people here, especially the guy that won the free Steam game. But
What's good too is once it's, I'm assuming it is going to go on YouTube here probably tomorrow. You get a lot of people that just want to sit there and not necessarily watch, but they'll just want to listen to the, the news and people's opinions, and especially if you share opinions, people like to sit there and listen to it and make themselves feel like they're not alone out there. So that alone should increase the viewer base a little bit.
yeah, I think that would be great. I want to wrap up by saying thank you, Trehan, for coming on here. I know you didn't really have a whole lot planned behind everything, but you answered everything great today, and as far as co-host, you're very very responsive, man. I thank you. I thank the viewers out there, everybody that helped get people in here. I know we didn't have a bunch of people, but you're never gonna have the most people on your first podcast. It's not something that I was expecting to have 100 people in here, but you guys, if you will do us a favor and go out and tell people about this. Each week I'll be coming to you for sure. I'm sure Trehan, you want to join me from week to week, if not every week. We'll have special guests coming in later. We'll have some people from GP coming in. I'm in the works on getting some of the Battlefield 3 community managers to stop by and talk about some of the stuff that's coming up with the game. So maybe we can actually call Battlefield out to their face and ask them why they're doing the things that they're doing. Not in a mean way, but in a good way, a constructive way.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's another thing. People like interviews with people they'd love to ask questions, and you get some of the interactive. Let the people that are watching ask questions, and then we'll forward it to them and get them some answers on things they want to hear.
Exactly. Also, I want to mention that Trehan has a couple projects that he does from time to time. He has a Hubs page, which if you have a link, feel free to post it in the chat to everybody to help you out. You helped us out by being here tonight, so. Check out Trehan's Hub pages here. He's a good writer, a good speaker. He has a program that he did on YouTube a while ago called Belly of the Beast. If you want to listen to some insights on Modern Warfare and Black Ops and just some of the random stuff that he has to talk about, check those out. They're really cool. I watched them, and if it can keep my attention, it's definitely pretty good because I have a very small attention span when it comes to watching these YouTube videos, because I've seen so many. But I had fun, guys, tonight, and congratulations again to Blood Wolf for winning the Steam game. We'll get that to you ASAP. And thank you guys for watching for Daily and Gamers Platoon. I just want to thank you guys for being here and helping us out.
Adios, fellas. It was fun. Hope to be back as often as I can.
All right, we'll see you guys next time on the Gamers Platoon podcast.
See ya.